Let me tell you something about men. When they're truly attracted to an older woman, something you might not notice right away if you're not paying attention. When a man is drawn to a woman who's older, wiser, and confident, the very first thing he does is start listening. And I don't mean the kind of listening where he's just nodding his head while thinking about the game on TV or what he's going to eat for dinner. I'm talking about listening so carefully that he remembers the little details, the thing most men would normally forget, because he's genuinely interested in who you are. See, men are wired to chase. And when a man is attracted to a woman who has her life together, he starts paying attention in ways he never did before. He's going to remember your birthday even if you never mentioned it out loud. He'll recall that time you told him about your favorite book or the place you've always wanted to visit. And it's not just about the big things either, it's the little things. Maybe you casually mentioned that you love coffee from that little cafe downtown. And next thing you know, he's showing up with it because he remembered. That's the sign of a man who's genuinely interested. You see, older women have experience. They've been around, they've seen things, and they don't have time for games. They know that actions speak louder than words. And a man who is truly attracted will show it through his attention to detail. He won't just nod and smile. He'll ask questions about your day, about your thoughts, about what makes you tick. And when he does this consistently, it's not an accident, it's intentional. It's a way of saying, I see you, I notice you, I value the things that make you who you are. That's what listening does. It's not about hearing. It's about understanding and remembering. That's what sets apart a man who's genuinely attracted from a man who's just passing time. Now, some of y'all might say, Steve, I can't tell if he's really listening or just pretending. Oh, you can tell. You can always tell. Because if he's really interested, he's going to bring it up later. Men like to impress when they care. And the fact that he remembers something you mentioned weeks ago and brings it back into conversation shows that you're on his mind. Maybe you told him about your favorite movie, and one day he surprises you with tickets. Or maybe you mentioned your favorite restaurant and he takes you there for no reason at all. That's listening in action. That's a man who is paying attention because he sees your value and he wants to make sure you feel seen. And let me tell you, women, that is powerful. That level of attention is rare. And when you find a man doing that, hold on to him. It's important to notice how he listens, not just what he says. Some men are smooth talkers. They can charm you with words, but charm fades. Listening lasts. When a man is truly attracted to an older woman, he's going to remember what you like and dislike, what makes you happy, what irritates you, what excites you. He's going to store those little details in his mind and use them not to manipulate, but to connect. That's how attraction works with a man who's genuinely drawn to someone. He wants to know every layer of who you are, because older women are layered. They've lived, they've learned, and they know themselves better. And a man who respects that, a man who's truly attracted, will listen with intent. And it's not just about romantic gestures either. It shows in the conversations he chooses to have with you. He's going to ask about your dreams, your fears, your ambitions. He's going to remember what makes you laugh, and he'll make an effort to see you smile. That attention to detail is something most younger women don't always get, because men don't always think they need to put in that level of effort. But with an older woman, a man knows he's got to bring more to the table. He knows she's experienced and that she can see through pretenses. So when he listens carefully, he's showing respect for your intelligence, your experiences, and your time. He's saying, without saying a word, that he values you for more than just your looks or what you can do for him. You also see it in how he reacts to what you say. He's not just waiting for his turn to talk. He's processing. He's thinking about your words. and he responds in ways that show he's been paying attention. And when he does this consistently, over time, you begin to realize that he's different. Most men will say, yeah, I heard you. But a man who is attracted to an older woman will show he heard you by doing something with the information. He will integrate it into how he treats you, how he surprises you, how he interacts with you. That's the kind of man who's serious, not just interested in passing time. I want you to understand something else. Older women have often been burned. They've been ignored, or they've been with men who didn't appreciate them. So when a man comes along and actually listens, it's a game changer. It's not just attraction, it's validation. It's a signal that this man sees you, all of you, and he's willing to invest his energy into understanding who you are. And that level of attention, it's rare, it's special, and it's one of the first indicators that he's genuinely drawn to you in a way that goes beyond surface level attraction. So if you're paying attention, you'll notice the patterns. He'll remember little things you mentioned. He'll follow up on them. He'll bring them up months later just to show that you mattered to him. And when that happens, you know you've got a man who's attracted, not just in body, but in heart and mind. Because attraction isn't just about looks, it's about connection. It's about showing that someone values your thoughts, your feelings, your life. And for older women, that's everything. That's what makes a man worth keeping. Let me tell you something about men when they are attracted to an older woman. This is something most women don't realize right away, but it is very important. When a man sees a woman who has her life together, who carries herself with confidence, wisdom, and dignity, it challenges him. It makes him want to rise to the occasion. Now, I am not talking about a man trying to fake his way into your life or pretending to be someone he's not. I'm talking about a man who is genuinely drawn to you, and that attraction inspires him to become better. Because older women have standards. Older women know their worth. They've been through life. They've seen things, and they are not easily impressed by surface level charm. And a man who attracted to that kind of woman realizes he has to step up. You'll notice it in small ways first. He starts paying attention to his appearance because he knows you notice details. Not in a vain way, but in a way that shows he respects you and the presence you bring. He'll put effort into his conversations, reading more, learning more, asking questions that show he expanded himself. A man who's drawn to an older woman doesn't just want to show up. He wants to match the energy, the intellect, and the emotional stability you carry. He wants to show that he can handle life alongside you, not just trail behind. That is what self-improvement looks like in action. And it goes deeper than just looking good or talking smart. A man who's truly attracted will evaluate himself. He'll notice the areas of his life where he is lacking. Maybe his ambition, maybe his habits, maybe the way he manages his emotions. And he will make changes. He will invest in himself because he wants to be someone who can contribute positively to your life. Someone who does bring drama, excuses, or chaos. Older women don't have time for half-hearted men. So if he's serious, he's going to start showing growth. And you'll see it in the way he handles challenges, the way he communicates, and the way he takes responsibility. You know, some men err in naturally this aware. But when they encounter a woman with experience and confidence, it's like a mirror. Suddenly, they see themselves and realize they need to elevate. That's why you'll see him picking up habits that show he's trying to be the best version of himself. Maybe he starts exercising consistently. Maybe he starts reading more. Maybe he becomes more organized with his time. He's doing this not because he's trying to impress anyone else, but because he wants to meet the level of a woman who has her life together. He wants to be a man who can stand beside you, not drag you down. And let me tell you something, older women can see through fake self-improvement. You can tell when a man is doing it just for show and when he's doing it because he genuinely wants to grow. When a man is truly attracted to an older woman, his efforts are sincere. You'll notice consistency. You'll notice follow through. If he says he's going to improve, he does it. If he wants to be more reliable, he starts showing up. If he wants to be more knowledgeable, he starts learning. That's the difference between a man who's serious and a man who's just passing through. Self-improvement in this context isn't about trying to earn your love either. It's about wanting to be worthy of it. Older women command respect because they know what they want. And men who are attracted to them recognize that they have to earn that respect not by words, but by action. And when a man starts changing in positive ways because of his attraction, it's not just about the relationship, it's about becoming a better human being overall. He's motivated to grow mentally, emotionally, and sometimes even spiritually. That's the kind of transformation you notice. And it's exciting to see because it shows he's taking your connection seriously. You'll also notice he becomes more ambitious. Older women have goals and dreams, and they move with purpose. A man who's attracted to this kind of woman wants to rise to that standard. He wants to have his own vision, his own drive, his own accomplishments to bring to the table. He's not content with being stagnant or complacent. He knows that if he wants to keep pace with you, he has to invest in himself. And that's what makes him a man of value. That is what makes him someone you can see a future with. And let's be real. Women, this isn't T about perfection. He won. Be flawless. Nobody is. But you see him making deliberate efforts to improve. And that effort is what counts. He going to work on his communication, his patience, his financial responsibility, his emotional intelligence, whatever it is that he sees needs attention. And he does this, not because he has to, but because he wants to show up as someone capable, dependable, and worthy of the woman he's attracted to. That is self-improvement at its core, doing better for yourself because someone else inspired you to be your best. You can see this in the little things too. Maybe he starts picking up on the way you handle stress or conflict and tries to emulate that calmness. Maybe he notices your determination and starts applying it to his own life. Maybe he watches how you interact with others with grace and respect and tries to mirror that in his behavior. These are coincidences. These are signs of a man who is genuinely drawn to you and wants to rise to your level. And here, the key. Women, a man who's trying to improve himself because of attraction is not trying to compete with you. He's not trying to overshadow you or challenge your independence. He's trying to match your energy in a way that complements you. He's trying to create balance. He's trying to be a partner, not a burden. And that is rare. That is the kind of man who's worth noticing, worth investing time in, and worth keeping close. So when you are with a man who attracted to an older woman and you see him actively working on himself, pay attention. Notice how he takes feedback. Notice how he sets goals for growth. Notice how he becomes more present, more responsible, more intentional. Those are signs of a man who isn't just interested in you. He's inspired by you. And that inspiration is powerful. That inspiration changes not just the relationship, but the man himself. Let me tell you something about men when they're genuinely attracted to an older woman. You see, attraction isn't just about grand gestures or flashy gifts. It's about showing up. It's about being present. And this is where a lot of men fail. But when a man is truly drawn to a woman who has confidence, experience, and self-respect, consistency becomes his defining quality. Because he knows an older woman doesn't have time for games. She doesn't need a man who shows up sporadically or only when it's convenient. She needs someone who's reliable, someone who proves through his actions that he is serious and that she can depend on him. That's what consistency is. It's not glamorous, it's not flashy, but it's powerful. It shows commitment without saying a word. A man who is attracted to an older woman will make it a priority to show up. That doesn't just mean being physically present. It means being emotionally present, mentally present, and engaged. He's going to remember important dates, check in on you when he knows you're stressed, celebrate your achievements, and support you during challenges. It's in these small but consistent actions that his true attraction shows. He won't disappear for days or weeks on end and then reappear expecting you to be happy to see him. No, a man who is genuinely attracted understands that consistency builds trust, and trust is everything in a relationship, especially with a woman who knows her worth. You'll notice patterns when he's consistent. He won't just call or text when he wants something. He's going to reach out regularly, not just with empty words, but with meaningful conversation. He's going to listen to what you're saying, respond thoughtfully, and follow up later because he remembers. He's going to make an effort to be in your life in ways that matter, whether it's small gestures like sending a message to check on you or bigger efforts like planning time together. This isn't about control. It's about showing that he values your presence in his life and wants to be a part of yours. That's consistency in action. Consistency also shows in how he behaves during challenges. Life isn't always smooth, and older women have often been through more than their share of ups and downs. A man who is attracted to this type of woman won't run at the first sign of trouble. He'll stay, he'll communicate, he'll work through problems, and he'll demonstrate reliability when things get hard. This is where many men fail when faced with pressure or inconvenience. They disappear. But a man who is truly drawn to an older woman knows that showing up during difficult times is what separates a boy from a man. He understands that his presence during struggles is more important than any flashy display of affection. Another thing about consistency is that it builds security. Older women know who they are, and they've been hurt before. They've dealt with men who made promises they never kept, who showed interest one day and vanished the next. So when a man is consistent, it creates a sense of stability. It tells her, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. You can count on me. That sense of reliability is priceless because it allows the woman to open up, trust, and invest herself emotionally. Without consistency, even the most charming man will never build that kind of connection. Consistency also shows itself in everyday routines. Maybe he sends you a good morning text every day. Maybe he calls you at lunch to see how your day is going. Or maybe he makes it a habit to spend quality time with you regularly. These small acts add up. They show that he's thinking about you, that he prioritizes you, and that he's committed to maintaining a meaningful connection. It's not about overwhelming you, it's about creating a pattern of reliability that makes you feel valued. And older women can sense this. Immediately they know the difference between a man who is consistent and one who is just filling space in her life. And let me tell you something else. Women, consistency is not boring. Some people think being consistent is mundane, but when it comes from genuine attraction and care, it's powerful, it's steady, it's dependable. It creates a foundation on which real intimacy can grow. A man who consistently shows up for you proves that he's serious, that he's invested, and that he sees a future with you. That's far more meaningful than any grand gesture that disappears as quickly as it appeared. You'll also notice consistency in how he handles communication. He doesn't disappear for days, leave you guessing, or send mixed signals. He communicates openly, honestly, and regularly. He makes an effort to understand your feelings and perspectives. And he responds in a way that demonstrates thoughtfulness and consideration. When a man is genuinely attracted to an older woman, he understands that his presence matters not just physically, but emotionally. He knows that every message, every call, every moment of attention builds trust and strengthens the connection. That's the power of consistency. And this is key. Women, consistency isn't about perfection. He might slip up. Sometimes life gets busy. Situations arise. But a man who is truly attracted will return to the pattern. He'll make amends when necessary, and he'll show through repeated effort that he values you and your relationship. He understands that being present is a choice. And he chooses it again and again because the attraction is real. That's what separates a man who's serious from a man who's just passing through. You'll also see consistency in how he prioritizes you. Older women know what they deserve, and they expect men to step up. A man who is genuinely attracted will prioritize your time together. Make sure to balance his life so he can be present with you and show that you matter. That doesn't mean he stops being himself or neglects his responsibilities, but he integrates you into his life intentionally. And that's what makes you feel secure and appreciated, knowing that he's consistently choosing to be part of your life. Consistency is also reflected in his patience. Older women are not easily swayed by impulsive action. They value thoughtfulness, steadiness, and maturity. A man who is attracted to an older woman will be patient in building the relationship. He won't rush or pressure. He understands that trust and intimacy take time to develop. And he's willing to invest the effort over the long haul. That patience, that steady presence, is part of the consistency that makes him attractive in ways that go far beyond appearance or charm. When a man is consistent, women notice. They notice the little patterns, the way he shows up day after day, week after week, month after month. They notice that he's reliable, that he remembers important details, and that he doesn't vanish when things get complicated. They notice that he's building a foundation of trust, respect, and emotional safety. That's what older women look for. That's what attracts them. That's why consistency matters so much. So, if a man is genuinely attracted to an older woman, you will see it through his consistent action. He will show up for you in ways that matter. He will be present in your life emotionally, mentally, and physically, and he will create a pattern of reliability that makes you feel valued and secure. That is how attraction turns into trust, how connection deepens, and how a man proves he is serious about you. Now, let me tell you something about men when they're attracted to an older woman, and this is one of the most important things to understand. When a man truly admires an older woman, it goes far beyond superficial attraction. It's not just about her looks, her body, or the way she carries herself. No, it's deeper than that. It's about respect. It's about appreciation. It's about valuing everything she is, the confidence she carries, the wisdom she's gained from life, and the independence she refuses to compromise. And when a man genuinely admires these qualities, you'll see it in the way he acts, the way he talks, and the way he prioritizes you in his life. Men admire women who have walked through life and come out stronger. Older women have been through relationships, careers, challenges, heartbreaks, and victories, and they know their worth. A man who is truly attracted recognizes that. He doesn't try to diminish it, compete with it, or question it. He respects it. You'll notice it in the way he listens to your opinions and ideas, even when they differ from his own. He values your perspective because he understands that your experiences have shaped you into the woman you are today. And when he values that, it's more than attraction, it's genuine admiration. This admiration shows itself in subtle ways. It's in the compliments he gives, not just about your beauty, but about your intellect, your strength, and your character. He notices the way you handle yourself in a room full of people, the way you stay calm under pressure, the way you make decisions confidently. He doesn't envy it. He celebrates it. He doesn't try to control it. He supports it. A man who genuinely admires an older woman is not intimidated by her independence. He's inspired by it. He wants to be near it, learn from it, and grow with it because he sees value in being connected to someone who stands firm in her identity. You'll also see this admiration in how he talks about you to others. He speaks highly of you, not in a boastful way, but with genuine respect. He doesn't downplay your accomplishments or belittle your experiences. Instead, he highlights them because he recognizes the strength it took for you to get where you are. And women, you know this instinctively. When a man talks about you with respect and admiration, it's not something he can fake. Older women can sense sincerity immediately. This is how you know his attraction is real. Genuine admiration also means he supports your independence.